So one thing that I have very little experience with as a guitar player is extended range guitars in all their different forms. So that includes baritones, 7 strings, 8 strings, and beyond. As a guitar player, I've always been more comfortable on your standard scale guitars, usually in standard tuning. I don't tend to deviate too much from E standard tuning. I'll occasionally go half step down or to drop D if I need to, but really standard tuning is kind of my home base. But today I'm going to be stepping out of that comfort zone and spending some time with this guitar that you see right here. This is the brand new Baritone from Schecter. This is the Schecter PT EX. Alright, so the Schecter PT EX. Now, obviously you can see this is a T-style guitar, but obviously it's a baritone. So what that means is it's a 27-inch scale, and tuning-wise, this is in B standard tuning. So we've got B, E, A, D, F sharp, B. So you could think of this like a regular guitar tuned down to B, so everything is relative to the B note now, or you can think of this like a 7-string guitar without the high E string. You could actually tune the F sharp up a semitone to a G, and that would kind of give you like the lowest 6 strings of a 7-string guitar as well if you wanted to. But with it tuned to an F sharp, it functions as a normal guitar, just everything is lower. So we can still play all of our conventional chord voicings, all of our scale shapes, everything will work, but we're just that extra bit lower than we should be in standard tuning. So spec-wise, we have this amazing finish which is called Dorian Grey. It's highly reflective, as you can see there. This finish, I think, looks absolutely incredible. It's got black binding around the sides as well. Even though this is a baritone, when I unboxed this, I actually contacted my guy at Schecter in the UK, and I said to him, if Schecter are going to do a 25.5-inch scale version of this guitar, let me know. Because I really like this colour, and that's actually a colour that I would take out and gig all the time because I quite like grey guitars, but I don't really gig with a baritone. Even though I'm having a lot of fun with this baritone and I'm really tempted to add a baritone to my collection because it's something I don't have, it's the colour really. I want a guitar in that colour. So Schecter, let's get a 25.5-inch version of this colour, please. Underneath that finish, we have a Nayato, I think it's pronounced, body. And that is an Asian wood, which is kind of similar to mahogany. So obviously it bears a lot of characteristics of mahogany wood, which we typically use for guitar bodies. So it's a Nayato body. It's a bolt-on neck. The neck is hard rock maple, but it's got this black satin finish on it. And inside the neck, we've got 2 carbon fiber reinforcement rods. Now that's really useful because we're playing in a lower tuning. There's a lot of room there for a lack of neck tension. Now obviously the extended scale helps with the tension, but having some carbon reinforcement just helps because you're going to need heavier gauge strings for this. So you want to counterbalance that somewhere. So they've got some reinforcement in there. But that's also going to be useful if you're gigging this because the carbon fiber reinforcement rods will help with humidity and temperature changes, which will help with tuning stability. On top of the neck, we've got an ebony fingerboard, which has a 14-inch radius. Now, obviously, it's a Schecter, so no surprise we've got a really fast radius there. And we've got 22 extra jumbo stainless steel frets and these pearloid fret inlays. Up at the headstock end, we've got a Graphtec nut, the usual Schecter headstock, which is colour matched, and Schecter's own brand locking tuners. Now these tuners are, from what I can see, the same that are on my Schecter Nick Johnston guitar, and as far as I know, these tuners are rock solid. I've gigged that Schecter Nick Johnston for the last 2 or 3 years, and I've never had any tuning issues. So assuming these are the same tuners, which they look like, then they're pretty good tuners. Electronics wise, we've got 2 humbuckers. In the neck, we have a Schecter USA Super Rock Vintage humbucker, and in the bridge, a USA Pasadena Plus. That's kind of similar to the Van Nuys series of guitars. Master volume, master tone, and a 5-way selector switch. Now, I'm not fully sure about what the 2 and 4 positions do. In position 1, it's the bridge humbucker. In position 2, we get a very chimey sound, so it's going to be some kind of split coil between the 2 pickups. Position 3 is both on at the same time. Position 4 is another kind of split coil in between sound, but there's no diagram on the Schecter website to confirm this. And position 5 is going to be the neck humbucker on its own. This guitar has a string-through body, which obviously helps keep things nice and anchored. There's no floating trems here to worry about. And it has 6 adjustable saddles, so we can really intonate this thing as well if we need to. The only downside to this quality-wise is the pickup switch tip. This actually just comes off really, really easily. I'm not a fan of these shape ones. You can kind of see it there in the close-up camera. It's the ones that kind of look like a top hat. I'm not a fan of those anyway, but this one comes off very easy. And I do find for gigs, if you're just kind of hitting the pickup switch like I do sometimes when I'm playing, you know, you're going for a quick pickup change, these are very easy to get your finger caught under and kind of flick off and lose them. So yeah, that's a bit of a downside. The switch is great, but the switch tip is not so great. The guitar neck on this, it's quite chunky for a Schecter, but it's not, you know, 50s Les Paul chunky. But there's a nice fat C profile there. Feels nice and chunky to go with the longer scale and the lower tuning. I'm not sure what string gauge are on this. The Schecter website says 1046. This is not a set 1046 because it's tuned to B standard. If this was a set of 1046s, they'd be very, very floppy and loose. I'm going to say that's probably closer to a 60 on the bottom and maybe like a 12 or a 13 on the top. They're much heavier than a regular set of strings. On the back, I should also mention, we've got the nice recessed heel joint there as well. You're probably not going to be doing too much shredding on a baritone, but if you are going up to the top end of the neck, you have got that recessed heel there to help you get up there. So yeah, that's kind of it spec-wise. So let's plug this thing in and hear what it sounds like. Gear-wise, the Schecter PT EX is plugged into the Blackstar Studio 10 6L6. The amp's running clean via the 2-notes Torpedo Captor X. We're going to be using some overdrive later on in the video from the Analog Man King of Tone. So we're going to start off with some clean tones. I'm going to start on the bridge pickup and move through all 5 pickup positions so you can hear what this thing sounds like clean. So obviously no one really buys a baritone for the clean tones. Now what you can do is on the in-between positions, you can do some strummy stuff. And it does handle complex chord voicings quite well if you're going into like your major sevens. It can handle those pretty well. Now, with a lower tuned guitar, you're going to have to make sure it's properly intonated because there's a lot of room for things to go wrong there. But it does handle it well. You're probably not going to be playing too many funk gigs on a guitar like this. But it can do it, and that's the really cool thing, is you can play stuff other than super heavy stuff on a baritone. It's a really useful texture and tool to have, but it's probably not going to be your main port of call. Like, the point is, you're not going to buy this just because it's got a great clean tone. You're going to buy this because it's a great guitar to use for different textures in your music. It's great for kind of moody sounding clean stuff, especially in the neck pickup if you're starting to play some quite dark sounding chords higher up the neck. It works great for that kind of stuff with some reverb, but where this really comes alive is when we add some drive. So I've just turned on both sides of the Analog Man King of Tone. Now I'm going to run through all 5 pickup positions with some overdrive. So even with some overdrive, in the in-between positions, you can still kind of get those really kind of moody, textural sounds. But that bridge pickup, my God, that's got some weight to it. That's a sound I really, really like. And yeah, you know, a baritone is something that's a sound I really, really like. I think that's kind of the thing baritones do really well, is that chunky, heavy, riffy thing. But like I said, I do like when you put it in position 4, for instance, you get those nice kind of, they're not clean obviously because they've got quite a lot of drive on, but they're very moody sounding picked parts. So aside from the odd little finger slip because of the extended scale length, I'm actually really liking the way this thing plays. And I never actually thought that I would be someone who would really, really enjoy a baritone, but it turns out I actually do enjoy baritones, and I do really want a baritone now after playing this thing. This is a lot of fun, and it's a lot of guitar for the money. I think retail-wise, these are probably going to be I'm going to say around the £800 mark in the UK. It's shown as just under $1,000 on the Schecter website, so obviously with the exchange rate and everything, you're probably looking at about $800 to $850 for something like this. But yeah, it's a lot of guitar for the money. I mean, you're getting a real high quality instrument, stainless steel frets, great sounding pickups, feels great out of the box, the setup is great, the action's nice. I mean, I'm a big fan of what Schecter are doing in this price range anyway. I've got a Nick Johnston guitar that I constantly take on the road with me. So yeah, I think this is a bit of a steal for the money, really. And yeah, this may end up being something that I need to look into more. Maybe I need a baritone in my life. What do you guys think? Do you want to see more baritone content on the channel? Do you want to see me playing in B standard a lot more? Because I'm having fun doing it. It's something that I never thought I would enjoy as much as I'm actually enjoying. So yeah, something to think about. But yeah, that is the Schecter PT EX. Let me know what you guys think about this thing down below in the comments, and let me know if you're a fan of baritones, or like me, you're someone who is just on the cusp of being converted to baritones. Let me know what you think about this thing. Like I said, I love it. I think it sounds great, but let me know what you guys think. While you're doing that, don't forget to hit the like button, and if you're new here, please consider subscribing to the channel as well. And let me know if you want to see more baritone stuff on the channel as well, because if you do, I can make it while I've got this thing, because it's just on loan for now, but if I've got it and you guys want it, I will make it. Thank you so much for watching as always. I'll see you guys soon.